take it too far. Two Aussies and a Yank walk into a bar. Two Aussies and a Yank walk into a bar.
Sports takes so hard.
Sports.
Yeah.
Hey everyone.
We're back.
Welcome to Two Aussies and a Yank Walk into a Bar. Here we are.
Here we are.
Episode 11. Let the games begin.
Yes.
We're ready.
Let them begin.
We are ready.
I like sports.
Cheers.
Steve's favorite part of sports.
Elbow
Steve
bend.
Seals from Brisbane here. How you going? Thanks for tuning in.
Straussy.
And I'm Gaz
All
from
right.
New York.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming from Jaybird Studios again in Nashville, and lockdown and
Still in effect.
lockdown more than ever, maybe.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah.
We're not focused on that tonight.
No.
But, we do encourage people to get along and have a good time, and that's what we're here for.
That's why we are here.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So today we're talking about sports and how and when we're going to see our favourite games again. And
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon. But what we thought, for people who've tuned in before, we usually do a question of the week and we do it at the end. But what we've decided to try out tonight is doing the question of the week at the start for everyone else to give their answers.
Sure.
And we won't do the multiple choice till the end for
Right,
you blokes.
right.
You mugs get to pick out of the multiple choice.
Right.
But everybody gets to have a say in the question of the week. And question of the week is, who would be coach of your all-star sports team?
Ooh.
Something
So,
to think about there.
throwing that out to all the Krista Mumbrians of the world.
He said I need to fix my hair.
One fraction of his hair's off right now.
Oh, it's always off.
First comment off the rank.
Yeah, I love you, buddy.
That question itself, is that could be anyone, or is it going to be sports orientated, or is
Yeah.
it going to be...
You're throwing me off here. I'm not used to this till the end.
Because I'm personally thinking about like a player that was great, that could be good as a coach. So
And I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you could select that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's your choice of coach for your all-star team. Like, because your all-star team's going to have Michael Jordans and
Warwick Kappa.
Michael Jordan.
Beckham
Oh, yeah.
and
And Michael Jordan.
yeah, Alex Jesselenko.
Yeah, he was my guess actually.
Yeah, Michael?
Yeah, he was. Thanks for that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Just
expect
ruined
to
the end of the
see.
show.
What's that?
We expect
Man.
to see. If,
Was that a surprise?
And that's the show.
see ya.
Thanks very much.
The story is sports off for the year.
Sports done.
Game
No more sports
over. Game on.
Sports
Game
done.
Depressing. So, can we pick somebody? Because I've playing sports like all of us. I've had some really, really great coach. Like I've been fortunate to play throughout most of my sport career with great coaches. So
And you're going to pick them? Or-
I
But
may.
if you
There
pick
might-
one, then you have to throw all the others under the bus.
Well, no, you have to have an assistant. as
Gary
well.
picked
you know.
Joe
Well, you
Blow.
guys have to pick from my
Right.
selection, though.
Oh,
but you could.
And I
yeah.
relieve.
Oh,
At the
okay.
end of the
okay, that
at the
matter,
end of
yeah.
the show, we're going to give out the selection, but everyone else gets to have a crack.
Give
you
it to
know?
us.
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Denise?
Tom Brady's got
Tom
mentioned.
Brady.
There you
Yeah.
go. Did he make it
There
to
you
your
go.
list? You're not going to tell us, are you?
Yeah.
No, it's coming at the end. You guys,
Right at.
right?
Right at.
We
What are
should
we starting
get into the first sport.
Let's
Gaz
do
is
it.
we're going to have a different person. We've got some guests coming up. They're
We
going to
do.
talk about different sports that they are experts in.
Well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't call myself an expert.
Well, some of the other sports we're going to talk about.
Can we just nix Gary's section then?
Gaz is covering a few sports actually. 'cause
Yeah, I'm
he's-
just covering.
Because the thing is, he's like the American connection. He's the
Sure.
Yankee connection.
Yeah.
Here, so
And if he wasn't here, it'd be a
Yeah, and let's start out with a great American pastime, baseball.
Is there any crying in baseball?
baseball, the
There's
great
a lot of
American
crying in
sport of
baseball.
watching paint dry?
Yeah, there it is. And one of
I have a cavity.
oh come on,
Oh, here we are.
Here we
Baseball.
are.
We're
Yankee
at the-
Stadium.
The Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my team,
there's
man.
the G.
And that's the Jeter right here. El Captain.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I guess to bring us up to speed with what's going on in baseball is like anything else, not a whole lot. But they're trying to do a 114 game season this year, which it's normally like 172. So
Right.
if you
Way
go all the
too-
way,
which is way too many. Anyway.
Cap it down to 17.
Yeah,
Enter.
17.
Put
straight to the
cut
World
it down and cut down the game and fill the stadium for once. You know, like
Hey.
get everybody out at one time.
So that is actually the picture you guys are seeing is Derek Jeter's last home game that I was at, and
That's
you were not, but
Yeah.
you were supposed to be there.
I was having a baby, and so was the
And
wife.
It was incredible. He had a walk-off hit to win the game,
okay.
and it was pretty magical.
So
But
he went out with a bang.
he did.
Yeah.
He did. But 114 games they're shooting for this year. Start date June 30th, if everything goes as planned. But they also, we won't know until I think another week. They're giving players the option to opt out due to if
Due
they're
to gayness.
yeah.
Hey, what goes around comes around. Be careful.
Well, I was going to say the virus, but yeah. So he
Is that what I said?
coronavirus.
it just came out wrong.
So they may,
I was going to ask you, what do they have to have implemented to make sure that their season starts? And
they're actually pretty strict on the all the players meeting and staying quarantined together, and then obviously nobody at the games and things like that, basically. But they really haven't gone any farther than probably next week. We'll know more about that.
So it sounds like this will be the most exciting baseball season ever.
yeah,
It'll be the shortest.
Yeah. Get in, get out. Get in, get out.
they're obviously like planning no crowds.
No crowds. Yeah.
Just put on my Yankees hat.
But I am in that photo. I'm actually probably
You're in it right
Right.
now.
Actually,
I can see you there.
I don't know. Like, see where my elbow is, and like
Next to his quoit.
I'm actually. Yeah, I'm like right over there. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh god.
Oh man,
That's great. Anyone that's watching too, you can let us know what your favorite sports is, and if we cover it tonight, and if we should have, and if we don't, then we don't really care.
Yeah, we don't really like that sport.
Is that Mozza watching it? Scott Morrisby. Baseball. Boring. I felt like.
It is.
That's
well,
that's a
actually,
Tassie comment.
no, I'm actually kind of with her on that. The regular season's boring. When I start watching it, it's for playoffs.
Let's get on to your favourite sport. Let's go. You ready for
Let's
this?
do it.
What is
Stripping.
Here we go.
The
We change
Chippendales.
sports.
Do we have any music?
Change
We don't
sports.
have any- Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Schweinsteiger, show us the back.
Oh, there he
Show us
is.
the back.
Look at him.
Beckham.
Hey.
Oh man, bend it like Beckham.
Show us the back. Come on.
All right, you ready? What is it, Steve?
Schweinsteiger.
Drink. That's a little
Is he a
game.
crowd?
Huh?
Is he a crowd?
Oh yeah.
He is
Yeah,
a crowd.
Bundesliga.
Schweinsteiger.
Yeah.
Drink.
Yeah, drink.
Every time that we watch him play a game, he's from the German national team. Every time the commentators would say his name, you got to drink. Be blitzed by like the first half.
Yeah, yeah.
Schweinsteiger.
But as far as world soccer goes, and we'll hit on MLS a little bit, but Bundesliga is my favorite league. Bundesliga, the English Premier League.
Is Buddhist the opposite to Catholic League?
Yeah.
Bundesliga.
Bundesliga.
Buddhist.
Bundesliga, which is obviously
Which is the
German.
German,
And Bayern Munich is one of my favorite teams, as well as Dortmund. And they've already played. Let me see here.
So 22 or 23.
20.
Before the shutdown, or
No,
since?
they're playing right now. They
Because
started.
Germany's got this thing under wraps, haven't they?
Yeah. No.
Aren't
They
they one of
started.
the best control of the virus?
I don't know, but
I think it's-
they said
yeah.
screw it, and they're playing. They're already like 25 games.
Are they
into the season.
crowdless?
I think so.
Right.
But
I couldn't imagine many sports having crowds at this stage. Did
no.
you?
No, maybe bullfighting.
Bull running.
Running with the bulls needs a crowd. You can't do it without.
What about MLS, guys?
MLS is
in the States.
they have reported the training camp, but I doubt we're going to see a season.
There we go.
Yeah, switch that
I've
up.
got my Dickie knee props. Here we
Nashville SC,
Yeah.
go. Represent somehow.
but the
First season this year.
they played one game.
Guys and
it
I
was-
were at it.
Yeah, we
It's a
were.
good one.
It was great. There's almost 60,000 people, and they played Atlanta. So they're 0-1 at this point.
Best record ever. I kind of picked up on
They're
that
in
when you
front.
said they played Atlanta.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you've said they beat Atlanta.
But they're in training, but they can't be coached. They can't practice with each other. It's complete individual training, and they still haven't come to any agreement on when they're going to start.
It is. I think Nashville SC is a good team. It's a good thing for Nashville itself. I think it's a sport that's people are embracing. It's just it came at
Yeah.
terrible times.
And they held their own against Atlanta.
unpredictable.
You know,
Yeah,
they really did.
Yeah, Atlanta's a strong team. But so when's the official start date for that?
There is no official start
Oh.
date at this point for MLS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that covers the two unimportant, least popular sports. Not unimportant.
It does,
Least
yeah.
popular sports.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the Aussie sports of
You've got the rugby league. reports,
rugby league?
Steve,
Just a little touch on being from Queensland, Brisbane, Queensland. Grew up with rugby league. Through childhood, it's in your blood, and I can simplify it real easy. It's rugby league, best game ever, the end. Right? Over to you, Straussy.
Yeah. Seems like you've
No
nailed
debate there. He's not debating. He's
It. Seems like you've nailed it. I mean,
So
No.
explain though rugby and footy for
Well, I'll
people that
explain
don't.
for people.
you know.
The NRL stands for National Rugby League in Australia, and that's when they have two rows, obviously defense, offense. One of them's got the ball. You got to hold on to the ball, and you just smash into the other team.
That sounds like a Saturday night.
Yeah, it's kind of like American football, but without the pads and the shoulder pads and the helmets and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's pretty hardcore.
it's basically an English game that was.
I think it
yeah.
originated down there. Yeah.
But both rugby and American football originated from rugby union.
Is that right?
In England, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's,
Okay,
it's
so
a variation on that.
The NRL in Australia, their first official game was Thursday, 28th of May, and we were meant to report on that. This is a couple of weeks in the making, so some of the stuff's old. But the first official game was Brisbane Broncos versus Parramatta Eels, and that was an absolute thumping.
Paramedic eels?
Parramatta.
Oh, paramedic.
The paramedic eels
Yeah.
came out of the coronavirus.
Yeah, and then he just gave us an absolute thumping. Unfortunately, the Broncos were on the receiving end of that. It was 34-6, an absolute thumping, which is it's tough to comprehend because Broncos have always been a strong team. That's always been my team.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the matter, that game itself was not only the first game for the NRL, but it was officially the first professional sports game on the planet after this virus opened.
Really?
So you can go back to work, and as a result of that, they've had their biggest influx of audience. I think it was 4.5 million tuned into that first weekend. There were a bunch of other games.
There was nothing else to watch.
Yeah, there's nothing else to do. But it also shows that there's a yearning and a pining for sports in general in Australia, even though people can't get down there.
Well, I mean, America's very sports driven, but Australia's also very
Oh, yeah.
sports driven.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
But it's not without controversy. I did make a note of this after I did some research today. So what they've done is they've decided to give the punters an opportunity for us to make revenue for the NRL itself. What people can do is they can pay $22 and they can get a cardboard cutout of themselves made and placed in the stand. So, they're generating money. But what they didn't realise was...
Are you making this up?
Wait, is this
I don't know, am I? that's Suncorp Stadium, that's Lang Park, right, in Brisbane.
Yeah.
But what they didn't...
And we can see how many people have bought cardboard cutouts already.
There's
It's just us. It's just us.
Not fucking
3,
one.
Yeah.
4, 5...
Yeah.
Sellout, that's what I call it. But what happened though is that they've come up with this idea, and then what they didn't realise was that people have put some staged people instead of themselves in there.
So other people.
One of them was a mass murderer, a silhouette of a mass murderer from the UK.
But there's a cardboard cutout of it.
Cardboard cutter. Yeah, it wasn't him.
Right.
Yeah, he's in jail
Is that in,
Harold
in a
Shipman.
rugby league game?
in a rugby league game. The other one was Adolf Hitler.
Oh no.
Yeah, so there's a lot of blowback from that.
I guess they didn't specify.
So yeah, something that was meant to be good had a bit of a horrible take on it. So they're like, oh, could do more screening. This is terrible.
Did they impose a curfew for that when they
Yeah,
happened, or
no, I
not?
don't think so.
It was all good.
But you know, they had to pick up their game with the screening. So, good luck to them. Don't send pictures of Hitler to the NRL anymore.
But I mean, did it get through? Did Hitler actually get into a seat?
He did. Front row, next to Richard Wilkins.
He was pretty stiff, though.
Who is screening this shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean,
It's
how'd
like
that
you pay
happen?
$22 there, just punch him out.
Nobody was
Oh,
scared.
Hitler, yeah, let's put him in.
Yeah.
Some
No
bloke
one
with a little mini mowie.
Someone
and-
put the
and-
gaff on him and stuck him to a seat and didn't
Yeah.
think anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in uniform and a mowie and everything.
The
So-
interesting thing is that they didn't realize who it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. But
Maybe-
anyway, this jersey that I'm wearing, it's a state of origin jersey for Queensland. So you have, I don't know, upwards of 24 teams in the NRL. Play for your team, get through the grand final. If you play well and you register good games, good playing, the first team that you ever play for is registered down to a state. So if you're playing well during the season, you get to represent your state. State of origin is New South Wales versus Queensland. This
It's
is
the biggest event in rugby league.
yeah. I think it eclipses the Kangaroo Tours. The Kangaroos, Australia represents, the New Zealand, etc. But I think there's a picture of my family befriended the Campion family, who is one of their sons is Kevin Campion, played for the Brisbane Broncos, and you got that picture there, Ben? Campo was a second row player. He represented Queensland 4 times. Tough as nails. Second photo there, Ben. His brother Paul Campion was a radio DJ in Brisbane.
Was
Yeah.
that really necessary, that second photo? It's virtually the same photo
Well-
2 seconds later.
Well,
Without the
he's
ball.
like, yeah, you see the ball in flight though.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's one of those unsung heroes though. He's tough as nails.
Are you wasting our editorial services?
A little bit. But when I got to play one of my big Queensland shows, I reached out to Paul, and he in turn reached out to Kevin, and he loaned me a jersey that I got to wear on stage in front of my Queensland compadres. I think there we go,
It was pretty cool.
down at CMC Rocks.
You
With
and,
the
that
boss.
other, you and that other bloke?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof or something.
Seen him before.
But just run that sequence there, Ben. That's great. But what I didn't realise though was that
Look at that.
on TV, like I get a bit of a quarantine going on now, but on TV they look so big, and then I was like, this thing's going to dwarf me when I put it on, and then I was surprised at how tight it was.
Are you bragging about what?
No, I was just like,
Your own
I got
build,
to
Well,
suck
if
my
it's-
belly in the whole time while I'm playing.
If it's like soccer, they try and wear them as tight as
Right.
they can, so you can't
But,
grab them.
you know. But I was just really surprised. But shout out to Kevin Campion. There's something like 241 first grade games for 6 different teams. So, and here's just a quick clip of him having a bit of a smash at an opposing team. Here we go.
Off the ruck, this is Webke, who was trailing away on the inside. 5 tackles gone, and
Oh, someone slapped him around. I didn't like that.
Oh, yeah.
You wait for it though. They'll play the slow mo. She gave him a bit of a tickle. That guy's not tiny either. Look at that. That's Shane Webke.
he's built like an ox.
Let's see. I'll get to the end of the clip here. He goes, Shane Webke's running with the ball. He runs straight at Kevin Campion. Here it comes. Oh, one for you. One for later. Dropped him like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you don't like that?
You didn't see that coming.
It's like hockey
to the valley.
on grass.
But yeah, great work, Campo.
Yeah.
And much love. Thanks for loaning us the jersey, and I was
was
very
pretty
proud
cool.
to wear it for that
Really
show.
cool.
So that's the NRL. I find with the time difference, it's really tough to keep up to speed. You probably, with your subscription to
You watch
Yeah,
footy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have too much problem. I guess it depends how dedicated you are as a fan. Really, I find it quite easy to fit it in.
I always wake up the next morning and then my family's like, Queensland won, and like, watch the highlights. Yeah.
You're that,
And then I know
you're
whether
that
to-
kind of supporter.
Yeah. And then I know whether to stick it to Morgan Evans because he's from New South
Yeah.
Wales.
Wow.
And then I did stick it to him this year, and then they got up. New South Wales got up first time in like 8 years or something. So
It's been that long. Yeah.
since New South Wales won, so yeah, it blew back on me. Picked the wrong year.
Right.
Maybe this year. Anyway, Queenslander!
So-
Gamarones.
So that's the short rugby league report you were...
Yeah, that's it. I told you, it's like rugby league, best game ever, the end.
You said
That's
this was going to fly by. You said this is going to
That's
fly
why you should have
by.
cut me off. Tell you, best game ever, the end. Anyway, what's next?
Well, let's flick over to a quick look at cricket. Ben, we got the cricket. There we go. There's Richie. Hey, Richie. Come on.
Kind of looks like Captain Kangaroo.
He kind of is.
Yeah.
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 Richie was a legendary Aussie cricketer, but he was more of a legendary commentator. in his
Oh,
life,
yeah.
Did
he
you
was
like-
the leader of the. He was the leader of the commentary team in the central missionary position.
That's his official position. Did you like the 12th Man comedy?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah,
Yeah,
there
I
was
thought
a
it was
guy,
pretty
Billy
great.
Birmingham, who did a parody of all the commentators, and he nailed the Richie.
That's
he nailed
awesome.
him down. Yeah.
And it's hard to find, like, there's commentators that I love listening to, and a lot of the older guys that just, there's something about them, you know?
Yeah.
They make that sport.
Yeah, to have a
You know.
knowledge of the game.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah.
For sure.
So what's happening in cricket?
Well, the cricket.
Nothing?
Let me have a look here. Hang
Make
on.
it short.
Yeah, not much.
Back to you guys.
The main thing that's happening is the T20 World Cup is coming up. It's meant to be in Australia this year, and they're basically the Australian Cricket's asking the ICC, the International Cricket Council, to postpone it a year, and the Cricket Council's saying, "Nah, we don't think so," but Cricket Australia's going, "Yeah, we think so," and
Are they going crowdless?
they are going crowdless, but they're also doing this. I had to look this up because I hadn't seen this before. They're trying to do if they do this World Cup in Australia, it's going to be October, November. Like they're pushing it, planning to do it then, but it could get pushed, you know.
Right.
So they're doing this biosecure environment where they have the teams stay in separate hotels and they don't have people in. There's some
Really?
Yeah, they're calling it biosecure environment, but the ICC doesn't like it.
Per game or like
Apparently,
for the season?
well, the hotel, they're saying that the hotels are the closest ones to the ground, and they just
Okay.
have them go straight across, you know. But
Gotcha.
the T20 games, there's three forms of cricket, and T20 is the shortest. It's 20 overs, which usually goes for 2 to 3 hours.
There we go. There we go.
Aussie, Aussie. Yeah. Australia, mate.
Yeah, one of those fans.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much there is, like everything else, it's all being pushed as much as they can. Obviously, stuff's cancelled that's meant to be on at the moment.
What's their regular season anyway? I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, the cricket's such an international sport that it's usually it's always summer, but
Right.
it depends what country you're in as to what time of year the summer is as to the season. You know.
I like that T20 principle though because it's like a smash and grab. It's like 20 overs.
I feel
Try to
like
get as many runs
T20
as you
they're
can.
trying to capture the like not just the American market, but just put some more excitement into it.
Right.
You know,
Well, test the last 5
well,
days.
The test match goes for 5 days. One day cricket goes for 7 hours,
Yeah.
and then T20 goes for
Yeah.
maybe 4. You know,
So the game, so it's like, it's actually longer than a baseball game now. Because they made a rule in baseball, because the games would go so long, that the pitcher once the pitcher gets the ball back, he's got like 30 seconds, I think, to release it again. You know, because he's just hang on to it
Yeah.
and scratch it and like throw it to
Right,
first
right,
and
right.
this and that, you know?
Yeah, there's not so much of that in cricket. There's not really a hold up on the fielding and like
Yeah.
putting the pressure on
That
that. but
T20
it's,
though, yeah, the principle is just to try to get as much action.
well, it's a lot of big hitting. Like
Yeah.
whereas Test cricket, there's a lot more intricacies and
Yeah,
and,
patience.
a lot more patience and
Yeah.
whatever. Whereas T20 is just smash and grab.
Yeah.
You know, hit it over the fence and get out or get out.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the society that we're living in. Everyone wants like something fast.
Yeah.
It's like adapting to new environments. So
I mean, it's fun.
hope it works out.
Yeah. Anyway,
Cricket.
a lot of disagreement over what's going to happen, but
Yeah.
you know, World Cup, who knows? Could happen.
Yeah, right,
Could be the next year.
right.
Well, are we going to take a little break from the sports
Yeah.
for a second, and we're going to go for we're going to go for the Panama report. We've got our old mate Stu Ward down in Panama. Where is he?
Stewie!
There
What
he
up,
is.
Stewie?
Come on.
Gentleman,
Oh,
what is that terrible blue and white jumper you have on?
thank you. I was wondering that myself. It looks like something his grandmother knitted.
Exactly.
Yep.
This is a premiership jumper. This is from the. I bought this in
1912.
1996, actually, and it has my favourite fullback Mick Martin's number.
Oh yeah.
Number 4.
He won 2 premierships in that one.
So he's the man, or is he your man?
He was.
It was just
the
a girl
top
backliner.
fullback. He was the top fullback of the day. He was the man.
Right. That's good.
But he
Good
wasn't,
commitment.
he wasn't flashy. He was just
Yeah.
tough. Yeah.
He used to shave his legs.
And his arms.
Is that aerodynamics?
No, that was me.
Righto, Stewie.
So, Huey, we got you a couple of weeks ago, and this time we're going to talk to you a bit about what you're doing in Panama, how you come down there, and all of that stuff. I know Ben's got a couple of maps here. We're going to throw the first map up to show people where Panama is.
Yep.
It's not the city.
Yep.
In
It's
Florida.
the country.
Yeah. Not
It's
Panama,
the country
Florida.
in Central America. And
Who lives in Colon, by the way? Oh, that's a shitty part of town.
That is, man. I just want to blow right past that place.
that joint stinks.
It does.
So then we're going to zoom in a little bit further and show. Well, we can lose the cricket background, Ben. Stewie's not going to be playing me cricket.
I'm going to put a cricket pitch on the top of the bloody hill one day.
Oh, yeah?
but yeah.
Oh yeah, oh, nice. There we go. So yeah, so that's a little zoom in on where he is near Boca del Toro. And,
We're the
and-
red dot.
Yep,
Right.
a dot man. So you want to fill us in some more, Stu, and we'll roll the pictures that you got to tell.
Yeah,
It's
so
all
you
yeah,
take
yeah.
it away, mate.
So we've been here a couple of years now. We're sort of 9 degrees north of the equator. That's basically what we left Nashville with. So what we arrived with in Bocas. And so we sold absolutely everything from our camper to whatever. We just got rid of it, and basically a few suitcases and a couple of backpacks and 4 dogs, and off we came. So
Wow.
everything here, that on the main island, Bocas, where your plane lands, you've got a few cars, but everything's by boat. So,
This is
if
your
you
place
don't
up
like
now, right?
water- Yeah, that's our place. This is, it's not like that much anymore. That was the roof coming off. When we sort of got here, literally every wall you could put your finger through. The roof had about 20 holes in it, and we basically bought it mainly for the land. The property's amazing. So
Right.
we had to sort of do a little bit of re-roofing, so we didn't have to have so many pots
Was
and
it-
pans around the house.
Was it a discount? Was it a discount
That's,
price without the roof?
Oh, what is that?
A little bit.
That's me playing trumpet there.
Is that pancake syrup? What is that?
It's
yeah.
Italian dressing?
It's kind of make do down there with
Oh,
the
sorry, didgeridoo, mate.
Looks like you put a lot of effort into that one too, Stuart.
So this is just a couple of guys. Like, labour here is very, very cheap. Like $20 is a lot of money here. An average wage is about $12 to $14 a day.
Wow.
So very, very cheap labour. So when you get something done back home, you go and get an excavator and you do all that all day. Here you use manual labour, if you know what I mean, because it's actually cheaper. So it's a bit that way. So this is, they've just did a thatch on the roof for us, and you can see all these concrete posts everywhere. This is the people that had the island about 60 years ago, a Chinese couple. This is where he was going to build some structure of a house. So I've used all the sort of concrete pillows that were still there. On the back side of that, you can't really see, are still there. And I'm sort of making that into a fancy outdoor garden, if you know what I mean. This is one of our little red frogs.
I thought
You're
that
not
might
allowed to
be
lick
local
them, guys.
cuisine.
Are those poisonous?
Mate, don't lick them, believe me. Crazy eyes, man, crazy eyes.
Yeah.
A couple of locals over for a bit of a porch party, but yeah, so we live over the water, as you can sort of see there, so which is an amazing experience. It really is. Like, it's a different world. It's almost like being on a stationary boat, I suppose. So, which is sort of cool. Like right here now, I could spear a fish right beside me, if you know what I mean, off the porch.
$20.
So,
$20. Do it.
Do it.
righto.
We'll keep going.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool place. We're doing a fair bit of work here with the local sort of villages and the school and all that sort of stuff. So it's all fun and games. It really is. I think we're going to talk more in next week, I think, about the next sort of couple of bits and pieces that we're doing here. But
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
It's an amazing place. It's another world, and it's an amazing place. It really is. The people here are absolutely beautiful people. Are very friendly, a little bit sort of hummishy sort of thing, you know. They're very strong. I like bloody ants, you know.
Stewie, do the
They're
locals have
mountain
a name for you, like Big White Thunder or?
Nah, they call me Grand Poppy. So
Grand Poppy.
yeah, well, it's
Is that because you fathered lots of children?
I think it's got other meaning too.
Is that an opium reference?
It is.
It's got other meaning too.
It's hilarious because they find it hard to say my name anyway because they can't say Stu or Stuart. It's a stew, if you know what I mean. So it's hard anyway. But Poppy they can say really easy. So they love yelling out Poppy when they go past and
That's great.
all of that sort of stuff. So yes,
Cool.
I have a lot of fun with like I'm terrible at Spanish. I just can't get my lips around it. So everyone laughs how I can still explain stuff without even speaking the language. But Mum is
Your tongue around that other language.
I can
The
get my
kind of
tongue around a
language.
lot of things, but that's, my own dictionary. That's the problem.
Well,
So,
we're going to talk. We talked about this before, but we're going to do a few different segments each week. We're going to talk about something different down there and show people a few things. But while we're on the sports episode, we're going to talk to you about the local sports down there and when they're opening up and how they're going. So,
well, we've got the
Is that miniature
I don't know
golf?
what that was. We just eat anything out of the sky. Did you see that? They call me Grace. We have the LPIMGS here, which is the Loma Pattaya bloody mini golf, international mini golf stadium.
Oh
As you
my
can
gosh.
see there, that's a beautiful, beautiful course. The problem that I have with that course, there's only 9 holes. And I'm in the 19th hole twice on that course, so it's pretty bad when I get on there. But it's a fun little course. That's Mark over the bay. Here's the little place that he's.
Have you
just
seen
put all
Tiger
that
down
in,
there
so-
by chance?
Yeah.
Just popping
he's
through?
booked later on in the year. We're just waiting to see when the borders are opening again. Like he's roaring to come down here.
He wants to get his Panama
So-
stamp in his passport and
Work on his putting.
It is passport. The only one he hasn't got. I've just
Yeah.
got to get the Panama one.
Is that him?
So
Oh,
and
here we
then
go.
this is the other big sport we have here, our local volleyball. So it's the kids actually love it here. They play that and they'll play a little bit of baseball, but the bloody volleyball they're into. We've got a few little courts around here, and they a lot of money in it and all that, but they have a little course with all the villages, and I think the grand total prize for the whole year at the end of it is $30. So I think
Wow.
there's 7 or 8 people on the team.
Less
You've
taxes.
got to split your $30 with that, you know, so she's not a big prize money here, but you might get a couple of beers at the local for that. But,
Wow.
how's the social distancing at the volleyball there? They got masks and stuff.
The social distancing is about from here to there, and that's about it. I'm the worst for the social distancing, or the furthest away, just because of my height. So,
Yeah.
like I sit in one of their cayucas, and I look the same size as them, with just the top end hanging out. So, it's funny. It's fun. It's
That's
fun.
great,
It's fun. It's
Steve.
fun. But
Yeah.
a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. I hope you all get here one day to see it. It's
Yeah.
a lot more peaceful here at the moment. There's a lot of stuff happening around the world, which is very sad, but we won't
true,
get into
yeah.
that because it's all about sports today.
Yeah,
right.
for sure. For sure.
So, a bit of sports, maybe a few size 13s up a few butts might sort that out.
Yeah. Steel toes.
I'm with you on that, Stewie.
Well, we know you got your Richmond towel up there behind you. That's
Yeah.
your only footy memorabilia down there, probably.
Tigers on fire.
Yeah.
What was it? 2 premiers in 3 years, I think. Straussy, was it 2 in 3
I
years?
don't know, but we'll talk to Cyril.
One, and then we missed one.
We're going to have Tiger Cyril up soon, so we're going to hear. We're probably going to hear.
I think you're dropping out there, Stewie. That's what Colin says. Anyway. Oh, yeah, we're losing contact.
Breaker. No.
Great to talk to you, Stewie.
Anyway, thanks for dropping in, and we'll, like I said, we'll do next episode. We'll do something else for the Tigers. Tigers. For the
Tigers are fine, don't you worry.
Panama. Yeah.
Love the photos, Stewie.
Yeah,
I'm going
man.
to start a petition to change the name to Great White Thunder.
Thunder, bolt. So other good thing about it, Steve O, you can tell anyone whatever you want that you used to be. So
Right.
I was an astronaut, man. I was always getting high.
Went to school with Chopper Reed.
Yeah, be me, mate. Hey, yeah, beautiful.
That's great, Stewie. Thanks for calling in tonight, mate.
Right, be safe, boys.
Cool,
Appreciate
mate.
it.
See you next
Cheers.
time.
Ciao, ciao.
Thanks, mate.
What does that take us to? Gaz, he's having a wardrobe change. Look out! Look out!
Yeah. Where are we going to hockey?
Yeah.
We're going to have our next special guest.
Yeah.
The big O.
Love you, Stewie.
So we got the hockey there.
The
Ben?
hockey pick.
We are.
The old, what is that?
Where are we going?
Who are we going with?
Who's
Who's the team? Who's our team?
Predators.
Reds, mate.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There we are.
All right.
There we are.
And here's our big hockey guest, the
Big
big O,
guest.
Toto.
Yeah.
Toto! Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
There you go.
Where is he?
I'm out there.
There he is. Cool.
That's actually pretty close to my seat.
It's really close. Really, really close. Yeah.
So we were just talking before, Todd's season tickets are very close from this shot. In fact,
Yeah.
you could have almost taken this shot.
It'd be like, yeah.
In fact, I think you need to talk to them about getting this set up for your games
We could do that.
when they start back up.
I feel left out. I wish I had a Preds
You should have
jersey.
won. Yeah.
Could have brought you one, Steve.
Yeah.
You know.
Put that hat on. Come on.
There we go. Smash.
Yeah.
There we go. At least get close.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same city.
That's good.
Smash.
So
Smash it up.
what do you got for us, Todd? What's going on with the
Well,
hockey?
I mean, you know, same as everything else, we're kind of on hold. You know,
Right.
they the NHL announced the other day that they got a plan. They just don't know when it's going to be. You know,
Right.
They got a plan, they're just not telling.
no, they told the plan. They just
did.
aren't telling when it's starting. You know?
Right. Okay, well, what's the plan? What are they going to do?
The plan, they got 24 teams, and it's 12 from each conference, and they're going to take the top 4 from each conference and do a round robin.
Right.
That just to kind of get games under their belts, and then the bottom 8 play each team. Highest and lowest play best of 5 in a kind of tournament format to then play the best of the top 4.
And the
I'm
Preds,
already
and the
confused.
Preds made the
And
cut.
the Preds are made the cut in the Western Conference, so we got a good chance there. And they're gonna have it in 2 cities, 2 central location cities. So there's a
The whole,
Okay.
the whole thing.
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
They're
So
not gonna
12 teams in one city, 12 teams in another city, and
Wow.
Trying to do the
they're
same
gonna
thing
knock
like
it
the
all
cricket.
out in one afternoon.
Try
In
to
one
keep
stadium.
everyone
Yeah.
quarantined and
Yeah. And
Everything above board.
Nashville was one of those up,
Eh,
up for it, but
We
they
all
lost.
were
right?
hoping for
Yeah.
it, but they
Went to
didn't.
Vegas?
They didn't go.
But there's
It's
not going to be...
Vegas, it's Chicago, it's Toronto. I don't
Well,
remember.
who are the
them
2
all, but
locations though for the? Have they announced that?
They haven't announced
yet.
that either,
Not yet.
and they haven't announced when it's starting. But
Right.
they have. They're saying like probably first to mid of July for
Right.
for practice.
And just for people that might be watching in Australia or listening in Australia, how far into the season were we? I mean, was
We're
We're almost
probably about
playoffs.
3/4 of the way.
because it was
you
getting
know?
close to the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've stopped the regular season. They've abandoned the remaining games for the regular season, and now they're just moving. Whenever the world straightens up, they'll move into a
Yeah.
playoff situation.
Right.
You know?
me and you were the first ones to break Steve's hockey
My
cherry.
cherry. Yeah.
Yes.
Remember that? How
It
was
was
that?
fantastic.
Was it
It was really
amazing?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I couldn't expect it anymore. Particularly, just most times, absorbing yourself into the game. We'd watch the Preds get down to like playoff, but we'd be on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be watching it on the bus, or we'd be watching it in the room, or watching it at home. But to actually go there and witness it and understand the game, and then have the sensation of the crowd. And I even think once we get back to any sport, if they're crowdless, I think that might be different for the players.
Completely.
themselves too.
Yeah, it's
Completely.
definitely
But,
gonna be different because
yeah.
you know.
Well,
But
and
to
I know
experience that, sorry.
I know they were talking. There's been talk in all of those sports about implementing crowd noise into because you're gonna actually.
We were already accused of that.
We were already accused of that, but you're gonna hear a lot more of the talk from the players.
Was that a DB thing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they're saying
they
it was
were
manipulated.
saying that some of the other stadiums, the other arenas were saying that Nashville was dubbed the loudest arena in the NHL,
Yeah.
and they were saying that we piped in the crowd
It's
noise.
a city of sound guys. It's biasness.
Well, there's 3 of them right here, so
biasness.
and 4 if you count Stewie and
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 That's true.
yep. And we know Stewie likes to mix loud.
So, we got the story about Gaz and Gretzky. Are you going to tell that?
Yeah. What is
Well,
that
I
story?
mean, just we were at
Oh,
the
the
game one
great
day,
one.
and
This is a
we
good
got
story.
we got a text message from some friends that were down in one of the suites.
Well, you gotta preface the whole story. Before we got to the game, we went and pre-gamed.
Well,
Right, I can
that's
believe
a
that.
that's a given.
Yeah.
To
So
anybody
me
that
and
knows
Todd-
us.
But you gotta put that in there. You gotta
Yeah.
set it
trying to
up.
make us look better.
And it's
As a judge, where's my seat?
it's playoff hockey.
It's playoff
And
hockey.
So we get to the game, and me and Todd we're ready for the game. So we're
Were they ready for you though?
We're halfway through the first period.
Yeah, I
And
think it was first period.
Todd's seats are like that, just
Yeah.
amazing. You
Pretty
can
dope,
see the
yeah.
entire ice. We get a text
Except
from
for them poor blokes aren't there.
yeah, from a certain someone, and it's a picture of this person with Wayne Gretzky, and I hold it over and I show Todd, and I said, we're going to the suite. So we waited that period over, walked down, we walk in, and I just wanted to meet him. He's like the Michael Jordan of hockey.
Because we knew who that text was from.
We do.
It wasn't Photoshop.
It was not
Because I would have
Photoshopped.
called bullshit on it.
Yeah, it was completely real. And I show it to Todd, and Todd's like, let's go.
Let's go.
So we
Let's
walk right down into the suite, and finally, the whole time, I'm like, hey, where's Wayne Gretzky? And we knew everybody in the suite, and we're talking to him and this and that. And then finally, one person goes, well, you want to meet him? He's right behind you. And I turn around, Wayne Gretzky's there. Shake his hand, and I said, hey, Wayne, it's such an honor to meet you.
Was he shake like this?
Oh,
How did you?
Look at this gas.
Was that it? Was that
Well,
the
no,
story?
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
How do you
We'll get to
do
that.
Hey?
So I said, hey, man, it's such an honor to meet you. You're the Michael Jordan of hockey. I grew up watching you, and all the great memories in games. And he said, thanks. And so now, mind you, we had pre-gamed,
Right.
and this is only the end of the first period. We're waiting for the second period to start. I shake his hand, and I said, man,
Reenact
I
it.
was like, your hands are so soft.
There was a lot more drama to Gary saying your hands are so.
Yeah, and he looked at me and goes, well, that's what happens when you retire. And then I turn around, and the certain someone that sent me the photo of him with Wayne Gretzky goes, did you just tell Wayne Gretzky his hands are soft?
Yes.
I
Yes,
said, yes,
yes, he
I
did.
did. He goes, that was amazing.
At least it was only his hands.
Dude, I'm telling you,
Just righty.
the guy must get manicures like twice a week.
And he moisturized it.
Moisturized.
Yeah, but he was not a fighter playing. You know what I mean?
He has a
was
pummel
just-
stone. I don't
He
know what
didn't
that
have
is.
to fight. And you could tell his hands were soft.
Yeah.
And
The gloves, right? The hockey gloves.
yeah, so the whole time they're like, "Where are you guys going?" And we're like, "Todd's seats are way better than this because you're in a suite and you're like trying to do this, and it's actually down in the corner. You know, you can't see anything except the net."
Yeah.
And we're like-
and Wayne Gretzky.
We're like, "Well, we just came to say hey to Wayne, and we left, watched the rest of the game up in
got a free beer and a free drink out of it.
couple. Yeah.
That's a
And
cool Gretzky story there.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's good.
He's,
That's the
he's
best-
told that story quite
Yeah.
a few times.
Yeah.
You know.
That is the best hockey story I've heard
Yeah.
tonight.
Better than hockey.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
You didn't hear us rehearse it earlier?
Must have missed that.
How we do it all the time? Should we probably
But I mean, how many times? Who has told Wayne Gretzky his hands are soft? You know,
You.
Other
Just the
than
one.
I'm sure like Mark Messier and the players that played against him. You know, I'm sure they said a lot worse to him. But
I mean,
Every time he gets out of the shower, he just lathers it. Gotta keep that. What that guy said, man.
the next
Soft
time,
hands.
the next time I see him, if I see him, I'm gonna ask him what his secret is. You know.
Right out.
Yeah. Right up.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, moving on to
stuff.
the greatest game.
Where?
The greatest
Back to
game
rugby
ever.
league.
No chance in hell. We're going.
Oh, hey!
We're gonna go to Tiger Cyril in Melbourne. If we got Tiger Cyril there, here we go.
Is that
That's the
MCG?
AFL, that's the MCG there.
I love his hair.
And we
I
got
love your hair.
here's Tiger Cyril.
Just waiting for some audio. Here he
There
comes.
he is.
Yeah.
There he is, the Tiger King himself, Tiger Cyril. What's up, mate?
How we doing, boys?
We're doing good.
Good, mate.
Good.
Good.
We
Welcome,
good.
welcome to the MCG, and welcome to Melbourne. And good to see you leave the last game, the best game till last. And you might be wondering why I look like this. Well, I believe there's somebody in the States who's been taking me off, calling himself Tiger King. Well, there's only one Tiger King right here in Melbourne. Yeah, it's been a big week. It's been a big week here because there's a couple of things which go hand in hand with footy. They're probably the same all around the world. And the number one thing which happens before you go to the footy or before you go to the rugby or wherever we go to the pub.
Right.
So this happened. June the 1st, yesterday. The pub's open.
Oh.
The pub's open
boy.
yesterday.
Oh my God, here we go.
Now you might be wondering why I'm not hungover. And that's because they're only letting 20 people in at a time, and here they all are.
Wow.
and you're not in there.
That's it. There's a 20 all lined up to get in. And I'm in tonight. I've got a gig tonight. So I've got a table tonight. We've got a social distance, as you can see in the photo. Everyone's social distancing.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
And
So
so
someone's
that
saying
was
on the
first thing.
comments, what a spunk. That's a good compliment right there, mate.
That's his wife.
Oh, sorry, your mum's commented. That was your mum's comment.
I don't think Carol Baskin would be saying the same thing.
Carol Baskin's too busy riding her bike right now. I thought you were doing a Warwick Pepper thing, but that's an insult. Though,
Oh, that's great.
And the next thing which has happened is this one. June the 11th. The AFL is back June the 11th.
All right.
And it's
nice.
the mighty Richmond Tigers at the MCG versus Collingwood.
Yep.
And it's going to look just like it is. It's going to look just like it is behind you. No crowd. So they're going to lock us out. And usually they lock us in, and now they're locking us out. So we start again, and 20 of us can go to the pub and watch, as long as we're having a meal, which means a garlic bread.
A basket of French fries. Basket of chips.
Oh man.
So for everybody in America, this is Australia.
Yep.
And I know you Aussies know Australia, but you might be wondering what's happened. So 3 of these states, Western Australia, Queensland, South Australia, they've all shut their borders. So that means that we can't play footy in those areas at the moment. We have to play in Victoria and we have to play in Queensland. So Queensland are letting players in. They're just not letting anybody else in. They're going to lock them up in a golf course, but they're not allowed to play golf.
Wow.
Because that could be detrimental.
Is that the Lions, Cyril?
Yeah, there's going to be the Lions. There's going to be both sides from WA. So there's going to be the Eagles, the Fremantle Dockers, the Adelaide and the Port Adelaide, what are they called? The Power. We don't like the Power. And the Gold Coast Suns and the Brisbane Lions. So they're going to have a hub up there. They'll play up there for about 6 weeks, and then the AFL is going to slowly drip feed us the rest of the fixture as we go through. We have got 17 games, which we know is going to. So every team will play each other once, which will be probably the fairest. We've had it for a long time. Doesn't matter. The Tigers will still win, as we know. And what else have we got here? It's also been very hard to keep us footy fans fit because we're used to going out and exercising. So we take a lot of advice from people around the world, and including world leaders. And so we have one of these every day. Hold on.
Is that a jug of milk?
Is that Bushwhacker? Bleach.
One of those a day. I've got one here. Don't try that at home, kids. And we've got our medication that we take, the hydroxychloroquine.
Oh,
So
yeah.
a couple of things for world leaders, which
Wash
have
that
been
down
keeping
with a
us
good
nice
dose of bleach.
You're all prepared there.
Yeah, all prepared, all ready to go.
Looks like you've been pouring that
And,
bleach over your head, mate.
It goes everywhere. It seeps through the skin, actually.
That's how he
It's
keeps
coming out of
himself
the
alive.
beard.
Yeah.
So I just got a couple of stats for you guys. There's only a couple of times in the history of AFL that footy's actually been stopped in the whole of footy. 3 occasions. 1, COVID-19. 2, it was in 1982 when actually Richmond were in the grand final. We were actually 1 point behind, and then a streaker ran out onto the field. It was a Colton streaker. We knew it was a Colton streaker because she had a scarf on. That's all she had on. And then we got flogged in that game. We got distracted and whatever. So that's one of the times footy was stopped.
So is
It
that
wasn't stopped
because
for too long, but-
Richmond were the largest perverts in the game? They lost.
Well,
Is that
do you know
what you're saying?
what was the,
Nothing to do with that. It
do
might
you
have
know
had
the
something-
name of the streaker? Because
Helen
I
D'Amico.
think it was
Okay.
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
Sharon Baskin.
Well, back in the 80s,
Chazza.
back in the 80s, there was a streaker that would always run across the baseball fields. Morgana, the streaking bandit, and she'd just get out there and start running, and you'd see people chasing her. I just wondered if it was the same person. Crazy.
So that was number 2.
And there was one, that was Helen D'Amico, and there was one other time. Now, I know this is not great if we're going to call it television, but I'm going to hold this up and see if you guys can see it.
Well, there's a pig on the ground.
Number 4. He's got your streak.
Is that your boy?
That's your boy.
Trounsy. It's not
It's
your
not even
boy.
tell colours. That's a red one.
Ah, someone kick it to him.
Drifting into the
They
right
call
pole.
it pigskin, don't they?
Did somebody write?
Exciting.
What's written on it?
What's written on him, Cyril?
Does this say police?
Plugger.
Frogger. Oh, that's great. Nobody can catch him. Oh, yeah.
Man of the match, right there. Man of the
But that was
match.
the other time. What was written on him was Plugger, which was Tony Lockett's nickname, and he was number 4. He had number 4 on one side, Plugger on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's the 3 times AFL's been stopped, and that's how we're looking down here in Melbourne.
Nice.
We're looking
That's
forward
fantastic.
to one other quick story just before I go. There's a guy who played his first AFL game. This guy here, Marlian Pickett, his name is. Played his first AFL game in the grand final last year. So he hadn't played any other games prior to that. His form in the reserves was unbelievable. He played his first AFL game in front of 100,000 people, and he played his second AFL game, which was a couple of 0 people. That's got to be a world record.
That
Was
is.
that really, really tall guy that got recruited?
No.
He's an indigenous player, but he's probably just your normal, 6-foot guy,
Gotcha.
but very, very talented.
That's not very tall.
No,
Yeah.
shorty.
That's a top report, Cyril.
Um,
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's
great.
Good
And,
insight there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to finish off, I got to just pick up where Stuart left off because he was wondering how many flags we've won. Yes, 2017, 2019, and the reason Straussy has that North Melbourne jumper still on is because he told me once upon a time that he was only ever going to buy a new Guernsey when they won another premiership, and here we are.
Still wearing it.
But-
he found you good there, man.
Well, but Cyril, what happened in 2018? I don't see a 2018.
2018, we were actually the best team all year, and for whatever reason, we just lost it in the prelim. But anyway, these things happen.
Yeah, they do. They make you a better team. You got to
Two
lose.
out of 3 ain't bad.
That's right, Meatloaf.
Yeah, and you got to lose to know what it feels like. So you keep on winning. You know.
And look, we lost for 37 years before we won in 17. So,
Oh, wow.
we go through the hard stuff to get to the good stuff, and that's where we're at.
It's over.
Well,
Now
what
the
we got,
pubs are open.
what we got you, Cyril, I've got a little video here of last year while I was down there, and this is when I went with Cyril. We've got nobody in the crowd there at the moment,
Nope.
but this video is of... I went with Cyril to the game. I've got a picture of Todd with Cyril at a game.
I was at the game too. Thanks.
Yeah, but
Thanks for the scarf rose.
This little video is of us sitting in the Richmond cheer squad right behind the goals when the goal happened.
And that's where season tickets are, right?
If we can,
Is that?
well, he's got season tickets and this, but wait for it. We'll get him at the command. A little less hair there, Sarah, but they eat him alive.
that was eat 'em alive. Yeah, but I've grown the hair a little bit since then, and
Yes.
and now I've got my own TV show.
Hair on the chin as well. You know,
Yeah.
the whole
Chin.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've also got a picture of last year when you took Todd to the footy, when he was down there.
There you go.
Yeah. Cyril and Todd having
Ta-da.
a fun.
It was a great day, Todd,
we
wasn't
had a
it?
good time. We had a good time. Go Tigs.
So Todd,
great time.
how was like that experience being? You
I
love
didn't have
sports
a
and football,
clue about the game. So,
but the atmosphere.
they were trying to fill me in, but then the whole, we pre-gamed before, we
Yeah.
pre-gamed after, and it was fun. It was really good.
That's cool.
And he's quite the fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Passionate.
They come and speak to
Dedicated,
Cyril.
passionate.
He had a dry run for a while. What was it? 37 years.
31, right?
37 hard years, and then all of
Oh.
a sudden now we're the premiers.
Well, the cool thing that I'll mention about that as well while we're at it, Cyril went, the previous time Richmond won was in 1980, and Cyril's dad took him in 1980.
Wow.
Then the next time they won was 17, and his dad took him again.
No
Wow.
kidding.
Yeah, they went again.
Wow.
They went again
And-
last year too, I guess.
And he went again last year, so we've been to a quarter of our team's premierships, and and Dad's 83, so
That's
we're having
awesome.
a great run.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's
All
a
right,
bit
guys,
of a
what-
bloke, Cyril's dad. He used to come to America on a sex tour. Come back and swing by our gig. We used to have a gig, and he'd come in and dance with all the women, and we'd point him out. So this is Dave Blackburn. He just got back from sex tour of America, and they'd be all on him like flies. Oh, they loved him. They loved him. Cyril.
That's great.
And just before we go, guys, we take our sport very seriously here. This is our Vegemite. You all know this, and
Oh,
for
yeah,
the Americans, you're going to love it. So we now even put our sports people's names on. This is Ash Barty, who's a world champion tennis player, and now we've got Barty Mite. So we take our sport very seriously, and can't wait for it all to be back on board. And we can't go to the games yet, but hey, we'll be making a hell of a lot of noise from our lounge rooms.
Fantastic.
Legend.
Good
Cyril.
commitment,
Thanks,
Cyril.
mate. Good, great job.
Cheers,
boys.
mate.
Love the hair. Keep it going.
Keep that hair on for the winter, mate.
Yeah. Talk to you soon, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
Righto.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That was great.
That's
It was. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. He's a good one, Cyril. So we're going to brush over the American football and basketball. We
Yeah.
got anything to talk about those? We've got American football next.
I'm out.
Football.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about any of them sports.
Oh, you don't?
We'll talk. Okay. I'll brush you up on the American football. I'm more of a college football fan when it comes to. I think we're going to touch on football and basketball, but the tentative start date they're shooting for September 13th for the NFL, and they're saying a full season, possibly with the Super Bowl in February. Where they'll double up games like Monday nights, Tuesday nights, as far as teams. But
Isn't the Super Bowl already in February?
well, yeah, but it's going to be like February 13th. But they're going to try and
Like fast
crank
Instead of
it.
the 10th or 11th.
But yeah, well, usually
Oh, I see now, yeah.
Yeah.
they said they're going to try and do a full season by doubling games. Where usually it's just a Monday night game and a Thursday night bowl. There'll be 2 Monday night, 2 Thursday, if everything goes according to plan.
Right. Oh, there's the Titans. Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh yeah, Nissan
We're
Stadium.
not really committed to it.
Yeah.
There's
The
Titans.
Batman building.
Titans had a good run the previous years.
They did last year.
They looked like they're
Yeah.
going to hit the
Yeah.
straps.
That's a stretch of the dark horse right there.
Yeah.
I think they were doing really well.
And but like I said, I'm more follow college football than the NFL.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
some people love it.
I get you.
Yeah.
They eat it up over here. That's for
Yeah.
sure. But,
And so we've got basketball?
Yeah. I gotta do a quick wardrobe.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, look out! There's the man himself.
That's what I'm talking
Basketball. Oh, I feel like I'm.
Time's slipping out. Thanks, Toto.
Toto, cheers,
Thanks,
mate.
Good on you.
I'm right in the middle of it. right in his crotch
What
spot.
is it?
You guys ready for this?
Oh, mate, did you have to change your pants in front of us later?
Yeah, I did.
It's
I don't
it's
even know
not cool,
what
it's
that
not
is.
cool anymore to paint yourselves.
What is that manscaping's pretty serious.
What you got there?
This is actually a authentic.
I feel like I'm ruining the spot.
No, you're not. Authentic.
There we go.
Michael
Look,
Jordan
Jordan's jumping on me. It looks like a lap dance. It's terrible.
practice jersey from North Carolina. So this is when it all started for me, was Carolina. I'm a big
That's
college basketball fan, and then followed Jordan through.
That's going to be an early shot. He's got all his hair there.
That's actually not.
Really?
No. I was picking a couple different ones. That is, I think, 92 when he won the slam dunk
Okay.
contest. That was the foul line jump.
But I mean, he was right up there to like 98 though. So wasn't his season like 90 to 98?
87 was his
Really?
rookie year. Yeah.
With the Bulls?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So being a big college fan, like my birthday falls on the March Madness, which is like the ultimate tournament for college basketball. And of course, this year they canceled it, which kind of pissed me off. But
Well, yeah, Monty too. He was a big
Yeah,
UK fan.
big
He was
UK,
very,
you know,
very disheartened.
But I'm actually a Syracuse Orangeman fan, and when they're not playing Carolina, I'm a Carolina fan. But kind of grew up watching Jordan play, and that was the love of for me, was watching that. But
I'm not sure what's happening basketball in this season in the States, but man, if someone has not watched The Last Dance, you need to. It's a phenomenal. Have you watched it yet, Straussy?
No, I
We
haven't.
probably dropped it to you, but it's just incredible.
I think you did mention 3 weeks ago if you watched it before this episode, but I hadn't got
That's when I
to
was
it.
sending you all the pictures from my research, yeah. But I mean,
Thanks for the tip.
it's just incredible insight to that man and the team itself and his legacy.
yeah.
I got greater appreciation for the guy.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as basketball, for me, the NBA kind of died with that era. Like, I stopped watching it. It wasn't interesting to me.
There
anymore.
hasn't been like a legacy since then, too.
Yeah, and I'm not taking away from any of the players now.
Well, there's
Like,
been some stars. but
there
absolutely.
still are.
The
There still
Kobe's
are.
and the LeBrons and stuff like that.
Yeah. But
nothing
they're
like a stretch. Sorry.
they really haven't decided a start date for them yet. The Board of Governors are expected to approve something moving forward. I think this coming Thursday, shooting for end of July target date.
Right.
Yeah.
But so we really will know more then.
Again, I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm not really up to speed. I would just watch what everyone's talking about. LeBron and ESPN's occasionally on at the gym, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
and
have
for
a team, national
the
team.
younger generation, like they grew up with Kobe.
Right.
You know, and Kobe, like Jordan was one of Kobe's heroes in a sense. You know, there were other players he emulated, but that whole era was just amazing. You
Yeah.
had great players on every team.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a superstar era.
It was, and that's the dream team, which was, you know, you asked the question at the beginning, who would your
the
all-star coach be?
Yeah, all-star coach.
You know?
And that documentary even explains too how Jordan took the phenomenon of NBA worldwide. It wasn't just the States; it just exploded everywhere. So, yep, watch it if you haven't. I would recommend it.
It's good. It's a good
Tommy,
one.
have you seen it?
You
The Last
better.
Dance.
Is that a segue to Tommy Griffith?
Hey, what's the chances of that?
We're going to motorsport. Here we go.
Oh man! Oh yeah!
How you
We didn't even hit the NASCAR, and he's got the old.
How you doing?
He's got the legend shirt on right there.
We're doing a double whammy tonight with motorsport with Tommy Griffith, and he's going to be our music act as well.
Sweet, okay,
So,
awesome.
You know,
There we go.
Here we go. We're on the
Vroom,
speed.
Oh man!
Vroom.
There it is. Yeah, that looks
Talladega.
Now,
So,
am I correct in saying that
Ricky
NASCAR
Bobby.
was the first United
They
States
were.
sport?
Yes, first U.S. sports league. I guess it's considered a league.
Yeah.
To go back after all this, so, you know, I think they pulled it off. You know, it was all eyes were on them. You
Yeah.
know.
Unky Trumpy was there too, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
Uncle Trumpy was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is he a NASCAR fan by tradition, or is it?
I doubt it. He's from
He just likes
Manhattan.
loud vibrating things.
But okay, Tommy, you've been to the NASCAR events,
Yes.
right? I have too.
Yeah.
When they come around that turn, the first turn where the stands are, the feel of it is incredible.
It's amazing.
And then you hear them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Like Talladega is great, but it's
Yeah.
so big, you know, and they stay so bunched together.
Yeah.
They all come by at once, and it's like, okay, well, let's drink a beer for a few minutes,
Yeah.
and then they come back again. you know, but
Yeah.
Don't they repeat that for like 290 more times?
right.
Yeah.
So you're hammered, you know, by
Yeah.
the end of it. But
That old NASCAR song. Turn left, turn left, turn left.
Left or left? Yeah.
Turn left, turn left.
Yeah.
Sounds like Zoolander. Can't turn right.
Stewie just said that.
Turn left, turn left. Hard left, hard left.
Hard left.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, we're hitting a
Hey,
storm.
incoming. Emergency. Oh,
Oh, curfew. It's past your curfew, mate.
it is. It's time.
Is that Gan calling you to tell you to come home? She's got another chance.
her sweater back.
She's going to knit the sleeves next.
Sleeves in progress.
Oh man, that's
It's time for you to
great.
go home.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah, that was our alarm to finish up.
There it is.
No, but we had because Tommy and I work on the road together, as well as having a history of playing gigs
Sure.
and all of that stuff. And then you got to go to that. What was that when we hooked up for you to go to that race at?
Oh, that was in Darlington.
Darlington,
Yeah, and that was 2017.
That's right.
Southern 500. It's usually Labor Day weekend.
And that was a
Because
special reason for
that's towards the end of the season, right?
Yeah, well, it's usually right before the playoffs start,
Yeah.
the NASCAR version of playoffs,
Yeah.
which Darlington now is the first race of the playoffs,
Yeah.
and it should be this year. They're planning on doing 36 races, you know, as originally planned. I mean, the schedule's going to be all jumbled up, but they're going to try to get all the races in. Playoff schedule's still the same right now. It's just a matter of, like you were saying, with all the other sports are in the same boat. You know, certain states
Yeah.
aren't open yet, so whenever that happens, you know, then they can figure out logistics
Right.
and stuff. You know, but
yeah.
you know, a lot of double headers. They're going to try to do that because a lot of the tracks they go to 2 times a year, just at different times of the year. Now they're going to try and double them up. Maybe do double header weekends. You know,
Gotcha.
And still nobody at the races at this
nobody.
point.
I just checked the schedule before I came in here, and it looks like you can't even buy tickets until the end of June.
Oh wow.
So, so they just have it blocked off. And I think the first race that you can buy tickets to, I think, is Pocono or something like
Wow.
that. So, yeah.
That's good. I love the show too, man.
Yeah.
That's
My
junior,
hero.
but see, Dale was my guy.
Yeah. I love senior too. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't, you got to respect senior
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
No, but wasn't that to do with the race that you went to? That Was it his last season or something? You were going.
But I believe I can't remember if it was 16 or 17. I guess it was 17.
Yeah.
Was his last
Because you were
season.
going out. I think you were going. You wanted
Yeah.
to go out to his last season and see him, and then we had a good friend of ours, Raymond Sides,
That's
who
right.
hooked it
Yep.
all up for you.
Yep.
And that was pretty cool hookup.
That's great.
Yeah.
And now he's commentating.
Yeah. Now he's commentating. He runs one race a year in the Xfinity Series, through his own team, Junior Motorsports. But I always look forward to that. But that is right. That was his last year, 17.
That's
and
cool.
We got to watch him race, and
Yeah.
I don't even remember how he finished that night, but I remember watching him race. And
There's all the beers.
yeah.
5 minutes. Oh, here they come again.
Exactly.
Now, musically speaking, Tommy, you're going to play for us tonight one of your own tunes.
Yes, I'm gonna play a tune that Mate and I actually wrote with Bob Hatter. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm gonna play that.
The
and,
Doctor.
Yeah, the Doctor.
He might be watching out there. I don't know. G'day,
Yeah, the
Doc.
Doc.
How are you,
Doc,
mate?
if you're out there.
Tommy, do you have a Facebook or a website that they can check you out to listen to some of your tunes?
I have a website that hasn't been updated in a very long time, but it's
It's because of the virus. Just say that.
Yeah,
Right,
It's 'cause of the
yeah.
virus, yeah.
This virus has really helped me out for about 8 years. Yeah. That's TommyGriffithMusic.com, and I'm on Instagram at Tommy Griffith, so you can find me on there as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes post some videos on there.
We should get together sometime and sing Footloose.
We should do that. It's been a long time.
How you doing, Bob?
I'm going to have to
I'll
look
go.
for some footage of that old Footloose
Yeah.
night. I think there's some footage out
I'm going to
there.
get some of that footage and put it in my coffin. Anyway, that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Epic night.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us
Yeah,
tonight.
thanks
Yeah,
for
for
coming
sure.
in, mate. If you want to
Absolutely.
head through, we'll talk some shit while you're going.
Yeah,
through
we
that,
can do
and
a
then
quick
we'll throw it
segment.
to you in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys. Take
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Cheers. Stuff.
Cheers.
Don't screw up.
Well,
Right at.
what have we got? What have we got for comments? Anyone?
Yeah, my sister said Queenslander. She's on the right track. That's right, Jules. I see you.
Derek Spalding. Oh
I
my
thought
God,
Jordan
Tommy.
was just a golfer. Oh man.
Tiger Jordan.
Yeah. And a baseball player. Yeah.
Stuart Ward. Turn left. Turn left. Turn
Yeah.
left.
Turn left. Turn left. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice to see old Derek tuning in too. Hope he's
Oh,
doing
Derek's requesting from Let It Burn from Tommy. That's one
Yeah.
of Tommy's motor racing song. Well,
well. Right.
car songs. He's into the videos.
Kind of like the Days of Thunder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of is like that.
Yeah.
Without Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So are we going to wait for the question of the week? That'll be after Tommy.
Well, yeah, we'll do the question of the week in a minute. But
Do we have
we'll
time
see.
for this, or is that next?
I don't think we got that set up.
Copy that.
Yeah, so.
Tommy, how you doing in the room, mate?
It's lovely.
Oh yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, there you
Luscious.
There he is. All
Yeah.
right. What? So you want to give us the title, Tommy, and then throw to it?
Yeah,
mate?
do the setup, mate.
Yes, this song, I don't even remember when we wrote this, mate, but quite a few years ago, but it's called One Way Street. And it's just a song about getting out of town and getting away from, maybe a certain someone that's giving you some grief. But yeah, I wrote this with Colin and Bob Hatter. Shall I go now? Well, I got this little Mustang tuned up and a running good. 4 1/4 horses purring underneath the hood. I'll fill her up with high test, check the oil and clean the glass. Well, I ain't sure where I'm headed, but I'm a-getting there real fast. And by the time you stumble in, there won't be no trace of me, 'cause I'll be gone. Just color me gone. I always thought that you and I could share the road side by side. But now the signs are clear to see you were never meant for me. 'Cause your love is a one-way street. Well, I'm halfway to Bakersfield, 2 eggs and coffee black. Well, I bet you haven't noticed yet that I ain't coming back. And when it finally hits you that my horse ain't in the garage, and my Crystal Palace t-shirt is missing from the wash, the direction I ain't coming from, it might be understood now for good, 'cause I'm gone for good. I always thought that you and I could share the road side by side, but now the signs are clear to see you were never meant for me, 'cause your love is a one-way street. Well, it's your way or the highway, so I'm going my way. Bye-bye. I always thought that you and I share the road side by side, and now the signs are clear to see you were never meant for me, 'cause your love is a one-way street. Yes, your love is a one-way street. Rusty fingers.
Well done,
Thank
mate.
you.
Sound great.
Good
Love you,
job.
Tommy. Good
Cheers.
stuff, mate.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well,
Righto.
that brings us pretty close to the end.
I
Of
would
this
say
has been
so.
it's been an extended night. We had so many sports to get through, and
Yeah.
then we threw Stewie in the mix. And,
Yeah.
I know.
Tiger Cyril, cool.
Tigers.
Let's hit this question of the week. So just to recap, the question of the week is who would be coach of your All-Star sports team? And you guys are down to actually there's 5 choices.
Nice.
Multiple choice of 5 tonight. They're giving you a lot more choice. So it would be A, Apollo Creed
Right.
from Rocky.
Yeah, yeah.
B, Gordon Bombay, the Mighty Ducks.
Don't know.
Flying V.
The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Flying
Don't know.
V.
C, Chubbs Peterson from Happy Gilmore.
Gilmore. Who's old Chubbs? Old Chubbs.
D, Mr. Miyagi,
Oh, wax on,
Karate
wax
Kid.
off.
Karate Kid. And E, Yoda from Star Wars.
Can you read the question one more time?
Who would be the coach of your All-Star sports team? Apollo Creed, Gordon Bombay, Chubbs Peterson, Mr. Miyagi, or Yoda?
I'd have to probably go with Yoda.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way too.
I mean,
So it's the question was sports team.
your coach.
Sports team doesn't
Yeah.
say which sports though.
Right.
Right. So all star sports.
Well,
All sports.
yeah. You would create an all-star sports team, and you would have a coach for it.
I would think a Jedi would have the advantage.
Yeah. I mean that's a mind thing, but I don't know if I know much about
Well,
sports.
a lot about sports is mental. You know,
It is.
it's psyching
Yeah.
your opponent out before you even get to the game.
I mean, I got to scratch Apollo off because he had heart, but he got whooped by Rocky.
Yeah.
So he's like first place loser.
Right. So you're saying Chubbs Peterson
Yeah, like
is ahead of Apollo Creed?
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Same guy, different character.
Chubbs,
Got the one up.
my sister Jessica Witz in Bombay.
Yeah.
Coach
Bombay.
Yeah.
Gordon Bombay.
Stewie says Stuart Wood.
Old Chubbs. It's all in the hips, baby.
Just
That's right, Billy.
Just as a long shot, I got to go Miyagi if he knew sports.
Okay, so Miyagi and Yoda.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he had that. He had the.
Now,
He did.
do you want to have a crack at a real coach rather than a movie coach? Because they're all movie coaches.
Sure,
They
sure.
are movie coaches.
Sure. Which sport?
No, I'm just saying. Do you want to have a crack at
Well,
your all-time
you know,
coach?
if-
like everyone else would have had a crack at, but
Yeah,
not-
I would have gone with Jordan too. I don't know if he ever would have taken up coaching, but just with his,
it might have been as successful as his baseball career.
yeah.
No, I think I think he would have actually been a good coach.
You need to see that documentary. Though. He crossed over well.
But
And
a
he
lot
crossed
of
the baseball
a lot of the players he played with are actually coaches. Like Steve Kerr is coaching Golden State right
Yeah,
now.
the Warriors.
Like a lot of the players and there's a bunch of the other ones that were assistants and
Okay.
yeah, interesting. You know.
Yeah, I would have leaned towards Jordan as a real life person.
Yeah.
Who would you go with? So you don't have to split us tonight.
From the list.
yeah,
from the list.
yeah.
Yeah, both.
But
From the list, and
if I'm
then-
going to split you, I'll have to go one or the other.
Yeah, I would have gone
Because
Miyagi.
otherwise, yeah. Yoda.
Yeah, that's right. I finally won. Usually you always pick his. Yeah.
Well, Yoda, I was going to go with Yoda, but that would have been too simple. He is like the Mac Daddy of just life and shit.
I know, and he's about as
The
tall as
Force.
this cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
And he knows what he's talking about.
yeah.
Speaking of which, we've got to get out of here.
We're getting
Yeah.
out of here.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks
Yeah.
to Jaybird Studios
Yeah.
again. Ben and Logan.
Yeah, guys.
Todo's in the control booth as well. He's double dipping tonight
is.
as well.
He's a guest and
He's getting double
engineer.
He's getting double scale tonight.
He did say he was going to fill in the.
Yeah, we
scale.
won't tell him what the scale rate is,
Yeah,
though.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Can we say
Tommy,
thanks to Tommy? Yeah.
Tommy for playing.
Tommy
Great song,
Griffith,
buddy.
Ben and Logan
Yeah.
in the control booth.
Yep, and we've had Big Stu and Tiger Cyril
Yeah.
phone in.
And,
phone home.
Jaybird Productions.
Yep. And we'll be back next week. We're sticking with this time slot, Monday nights at 9.
Monday
and
nights.
we're going to, hopefully we can get it together and be that
At
time
9.
slot every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Just have some type of relief for everyone that's going through tough times right now. And just remember too, in a world that's full of like teetering between love and hate, just try to choose to love people. We can do it.
Yeah.
Embrace one another. We got this. So yeah,
It's easier to be nice.
yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Be kind. Be nice. I love you guys too.
Aww.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks.
All right, cut camera. Cut.
Got the camera.
We're
It's about that time. You know what I'm saying?
See you next week.
Right out.
Right out.
Right out. Right out. Did you get that in the mic, Carl? Right out. Right out.
What will they say if they take it too far? Two Aussies